Welcome everyone to my Pillars of Eternity Let's Play. My name is Macsen. You may not have watched my first video. In that I went into some basic details about the game and created my player character. If you want to go and watch that, you can check that out here in the annotation. But basically I'm ready to get started. I'll quickly recap my player character for those of you who didn't watch that. So basically this is my very min-maxed player character. He's designed to be excellent in dialogue, so I've increased the dialogue attributes in the main: perception, intelligence and resolve. Now this player character is designed as a frontline fighter. The class is fighter, so everything here basically will help that out. Wild Orlan should be great for the role. That also gives bonuses to perception and resolve. Might, which I don't need really because this character isn't designed to do much damage. I'm going to let other companions within my party take on that role. He will basically protect them from damage by engaging opponents and getting hit by those opponents. I've decided to pick Dissident as my culture and background, I should say. Exmetal Plains is culture to get extra resolve, and yeah, that's it. So I think I'm ready to get started. So let's get on with things. Now you may have, if you didn't watch that first video, you won't know or won't have seen the intro video. Basically our caravan, our party's caravan has broken down and my player character is feeling ill. Right, so this being an Infinity Engine inspired game means there's tons of dialogue, especially since Obsidian made the game. They really do create games that have massive amounts of dialogue. So Caravan Master Odema, the Caravan Master, finishes addressing the group, his bushy red moustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
Okay, luckily for me there are some actual voiced dialogue in the game, some actors do it, so voice actors. He nods toward a looming black mass on the hillside, so the slightly faded out dialogue or text is the action that the character is taking rather than saying.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last the Caravan Master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day.
Okay.
There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Okay, so Odema looks over his shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparvel, who carries an old sun-bleached bow. Sparvel nods and slides the worn bow over his shoulder, so he's going to look for water for me, basically. So we've got a number of dialogue options that we should use here. So where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
Now this Let's Play is going to be blind, but I have actually seen this before. Obsidian showed this off about a year ago, and a lot of the review copies of the game, the Let's Plays have showed this bit, and I've actually seen that recently as well. But the rest of this Let's Play is all going to be blind apart from the backer beta bit, which is about 3 maps out of about 150 odd, I think. So what are those ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear.
Okay.
Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
I've left the tutorial messages on. I'm probably not going to read through those, but if you want to pause the game to read that, be my guest. I've been playing the game long enough in the backer beta to know all of that pretty much still. So who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Now, I believe the Glanvathans in the game are loosely based on the Brythonic nations or tribes that became the Welsh, the Cornish, and the Breton. The language is very similar to that. I'm Welsh myself, so I'm going to be trying to pronounce certain things in Brythonic or Welsh. So, is it dangerous out here?
Not if you hurry about your business. And not if the weather holds up.
What kind of weather do they
This
get
time of
here?
year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a Bushwhacked, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to.
What are these huge rocks coming up out of the ground?
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Okay, it looks as if we've exhausted all the dialogue options for this guy.
Take someone
nearly.
with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travellers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy armour-clad woman who has spent the journey's nights sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own
He needs to
time.
find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
Yeah, I'm not so sure for that.
Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Bushwhacked, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Okay, sounded like he was pretty concerned. Right, so basically, our first quest is to find some springberries. So, gotta look around the map, I believe, to find them. And we've got a second quest as well to journey to Gildeville, which the caravan is en route to, I believe. So, biography, we can see here a bit about ourselves, which I believe more is added to this later on, and then we've got a ton of extra things, encyclopedia and that, which I'll look into a bit later on, and there's more tutorial messages here. Okay, so one thing I should mention on the graphics, I've got the colorblind mode on, so I think the only thing that changes are the circles and the blue bit down here for the health bar. You have to let me know if the music's too loud as well. That's what I've currently got it set up. And I'll quickly show those options again as well if you haven't seen them. Right, so let's have a word with Kalisha, I think. So talk to Kalisha.
Springberries grow wild all over the place here. Keep your eye out.
Right, and let's check the map. So we're up in this area. So if I use tab, we can see all the other people are within the area as well. And luckily, which a feature I really like, is it highlights certain objects within the game. So let's quickly speak to
Go
that
on then, before it gets too dark.
guy. Right, no,
Got it.
he said all he wants to say. Don't mind Odema, this is as good as a place to camp as any. It's best not to wander alone, especially so near the ruins. I'll move that up a bit so you can see that in more detail as well. Let's check that out. So we need mechanics, a skill to unlock that, which I don't currently have. My skills are like that. So we've got skills in quite a few areas, but not mechanics. It's actually best to focus on one area, but Yeah, I will be later on. So let's have a caravanner here. Okay. Something there. Let's have a word with them. So all of these basic characters are probably going to say similar things. But we might pick up something from them if we do actually interact.
Anyone
with
need
them.
supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
I think that was that guy there. Okay. So if I try and pick that up, I think it might count as stealing. I don't know. Well, I'm going to just quick save. Let's find out. I might as well find out sooner rather than later. Now, I've actually got some stuff within my inventory already. I think these are Becker's items that have been added on my version of the game. I think I'll equip them early on, but I might turn them off. I don't really like... it's almost pay to win, isn't it? Features, not quite, but I think... I don't know if that does anything. That's just a companion that you have follow you around. Doesn't really do anything. I think that actually does something. Gallon's Pledge gives you a couple of per rest endurance things. So yeah, let's try taking that, see if it gets us in trouble. Alright, it didn't. Nothing came up there, so it looks like you can steal that or take that. Let's take that. Oh, that's mechanics, wasn't it? So let's take that. Steal within clothing. Okay. So now I'm going to explore thoroughly in this game. Something which I should do as well is put myself on scouting. The only way you can find out
see and not be seen.
about hidden objects is if you're in scout mode. So what I'm going to do is put myself on scout mode and then put fast on so we travel around quickly. Sadly it's a bit slow even with that on. So it looks like there's stables or something over here. Let's come down here. Looks like there's something worth picking up there. Orland's Cradle, so I can use that to enchant stuff later. That's something I should probably make a point of showing as well. This is actually newly added. The review copy people didn't have this. They've added all this new screen for enchanting, so I'll be making use of that later on when I'm actually able to use it. So did it tell me where the spring berries actually are? It probably did. Quests. Near to a river, basically. Distinctive bush. Right. So what's that down here? The fallen tree doesn't budge. Sap oozes from the jagged wound in its trunk. Can't come down here anymore. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Where's Kalisha gone to? Well, Kalisha is a fighter as well as us, but her stats are very much more offensively minded rather than defensive, so she does a lot of might damage.
Springberries grow wild all over the place.
Sure.
Here. Keep your eye out.
Sure.
And I should probably arguably change my formation around a bit.
No problem.
Okay, doesn't look like there's anything down here. Oh, there's one more guy up here as well. Exploration is key in Place of Eternity. As you make your way through the Eastern Reach, open the area map to see what parts of the map you've already been to and what's left to explore. Yeah, so I'm making a point of exploring basically at the moment. Let's have a word with this guy then. You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He shakes his head and laughs when he notices you. He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
So it sounds like he's used to better circumstances normally. Yeah, let's ask him who he is.
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
So the Adir Empire is basically culturally based on the Anglo-Saxons, I think. Right, we've got a number of options again. Now we've actually got these certain dialogue options which affect your reputation. If you get a reputation for doing certain things, that can further affect your dialogue in the game. So I think let's try the clever option. It doesn't necessarily give you a bonus if you go for one of those, but just determines how your character is later on, basically. You can see more about disposition here. Right.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
So tell me about the Adir Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Ceres and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire, a fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
Okay. So I think Deerwood is arguably the early Anglo-Saxon kingdoms in England, roughly culturally, maybe? I don't know. Maybe they've based it on that. So why'd you move all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Raed Ceres? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
Oh, right, so he's not voicing this bit. So he shrugs. Deerwood is a former Adir colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. And as much as I admire the Red Serens' work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. So let's go with the rational option. Seems like he got the short end of the stick. I don't see it that way. Hugh then begins restacking the crates in his wagon. My brothers and I are all working together for the sake of the family enterprise, so I'm not sure he liked that option. Right, let's see what he's got. So he's a merchant. We can actually buy something off him. So we've got hardly any money. We've got a potion, but he's got a lot of weapons. He's got lockpicks, which I wouldn't mind buying, but can I really afford it? I don't think he has. Well, there's shields. I might come back to them in a second. So inventory. I've got a mace. What's she got? Torch. I don't even know what a torch does actually. I don't think it was one in the back of beta. So burning lash it has. Right, let's get to looking around again then, I think. Okay. Oh, right, who's this? Oh, that's Sparville.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Okay.
There's a grove nearby. Ought to have what you're looking for. There's a grove nearby. Ought to have what you're looking for.
Okay, sounds promising. Let's come up here then. That piglet doesn't affect anything whatsoever, I think. I think it's just cosmetic. Hopefully it doesn't affect my scouting. What's this? Is that what we're looking for? No. What's that? This path winds through a narrow
stray too far.
canyon back the way you came. Grooves in the road mark a passage of hundreds of caravans. Okay. Well,
Let's
we'll
check
want path then. Okay, let's check out those outcroppings. Now, the game is auto-pause since I have that option on. We've noticed a wolf, and that's hostile. So I'm currently in scouting mode.
Those outcroppings.
Right, let's probably gonna have to engage these in combat, I assume. So let's move over here. Now, as it mentions, this is a real time with pause, and it's more pause than real time, frankly. So let's try and take on these wolves. I actually like the combat system. It's very tactical, but as I mentioned, you have to pause a lot. So let's move. I actually want my guy in front here because he can take more damage than her. So have I got scouting on? Maybe I took it off. I don't have a ranged weapon, so it doesn't matter that much anyway. So let's engage that wolf. She's also a fighter, of course, so let's use that one as well. Right, so they've engaged, and you can see rules of engagement there. So he's going to end up directing his attacks against my fighter, and my fighter likewise will engage him. I think I'll move her back there just to make sure he engages him rather than her. Oh, no, that didn't work. She moved on. So he's knocked him down. Done damage. She's attacked that one. But he's changed around. That's been knocked down as well. So I think I'm going to pull her out. He's prone for a few seconds actually, so I might try and get another hit in with her. Is he attacking her? Yeah, he is. Right, let's move out so he doesn't attack her. I want him to engage my fighter. Okay. Right, he's back up on his feet. Let's use knockdown again. Now knockdown, these abilities here are per encounter, so you should use all of these in every encounter. If you don't, you're kind of wasting them. So knock him down. Let's attack there. Again. Slow mode off, so I don't really need it on that much. Okay, so of course a critical hit, which basically means I rolled really large amount of my dice roll. 100 in fact. It's a D100 and then you add on your accuracy and minus the defense, which is usually deflection. But it could be will or reflex or fortitude in certain circumstances. And if you score a score of 100 or more, you get a crit basically, and do an extra 50% damage on top of your normal damage. DR is damage resistance, which is minus off your damage. Right, so that's dead. Let's right, all the knockdowns there have been used. Let's use her knockdown now, and then keep on attacking that wolf. Okay. Something about DR there. You get a tiny bit of experience in combat, but most of the experience you get for leveling up your characters comes from quests. This wolf is missing a lot as well, and the other one was because our deflection is so high. It's kind of the whole point of how I designed my fighting to be, to avoid getting hit in the first place. And if he does get hit, he's got a 10 of constitution as well. Right, so that's combat done with. Shh. Okay, so let's pick up that.
Got it. No problem.
Right. Oh, let's put fast on.
This is it.
And looks like we found what we were looking for. Okay, Dissident. So this is showing our background here, and she's asking on about it. Basically, you can turn this off in the options if you don't want to know that they're asking about your background. I got it on good authority you're some kind of troublemaker, or at least you were in your old life. So we basically, our decision here will influence what's in our journal. I'm going to say that one for rebellion. Yeah, how is it you happen to come here? I think I'll go for that one. Okay. Hazard of the lifestyle, I suppose. You had to expect it. It was a possibility no matter how much you didn't want it to become that way. Or be that way. Kalisha breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Redrick's offer makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You here to settle like the rest of the lot? I think I'm going to say that one. I hadn't given it much thought. No harm in that. Might as well see the place first. So you must have some other plan in mind for coming this way. I hope to meet someone and fall in love. Interesting option. Probably the same things I did before. Just looking for some adventure really. Getting into trouble I expect. I'm going to find some new friends. I have no idea what I'm going to do next. There isn't any romance in the game at all, I believe, so that's not really possible. So who knows, I may add in an expansion. I think I'm going to do that one. Stay true to being a dissident. Just the scenery will be new then. Sometimes that's all that's needed. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Odem will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. So I guess I should ask her about herself. So why are you here? Kalisha sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried, but that's how she always is. This time though, she asked me to come out, and that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Ixamittal, but I'll do anything for her. That's where my character's from. She's a much better woman than me, so I'm here and we'll see. Odema I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive a route this way, but he's doing it for me. Okay. Tell me about yourself. I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We settled in Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the living lands. I've got a brother in Rawatai and another in Edir. My sister in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. What can you tell me about Deerwood? I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Edir Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. Okay, I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird things, kind of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. Alright, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparvel's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like, when he feels like it. We should check up on him first, slap him round a little. Stream's just down the way. Come on, let's get your water. Your water. Okay, so we have to find Sparvel. Doesn't look like there's anything more up here. Okay. Right, something over there. Let's grab that. Okay. And the journals should have updated, yeah. Been up there, haven't we? Yep. Okay, let's thoroughly explore. Don't want to miss anything. Okay. Ooh, here we go. Talking of not missing anything. Travelers maybe, or looters, or bandits. Bad sign any way you figure it. So let's take a look at that. The corpse is cold to the touch and a ripe smell wafts from it in putrid waves. A dark, crusted blood stain besmirches its simple linen clothing. Right, sounds like a better quick save in case there's something over here. Let's have a look at that. It says lockpick, nice, and leather armor. Let's take that. Okay. Looks like another skeleton there. I don't know what armor I've got to start with. It's same actually. Okay. Why is that? Right. that was on. That was why it's faded out. I can probably stick that potion on my quick item slots if I need it as well, so I should do that.
Yeah? Sure.
Okay.
Sparfle went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on.
Okay.
Not good.
Right, so there's an item there. There's a campfire. The footprints around the campfire are indistinct and may have been here for days or longer.
Yeah? Sure.
Okay. So it's not Sparvels then. Right, I know that something's coming up here because I've seen it before, so I think what I'm going to do
Yeah?
is call it an end of the video here now. I'm probably been around half an hour, so there's going to be an incident that's going to start at the start of next video. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Over the next few days or so, I'm going to be trying to create as many videos for this Let's Play as possible and getting that as quickly as I can. After that, I'll probably return to making some character creation videos. So min-max videos that I'd previously been making with the backers beta. You have to ask me to do certain classes if there's some classes you want to see over others. Apart from that, Galciv 3 has recently had an update, so it's on beta 5. I might make some more videos for that since they've actually fixed production overflow. So if that's something you're interested in and you're interested in Pillars of Eternity, you may want to subscribe to the channel. There's going to be tons of content coming very soon. There's already tons of content on the channel that you may be interested in as well. If you enjoyed this video as well and you fancy helping me out, you may want to give it a like. And if you have any comments or feedback, please ask away in the comments section. And also, if you really fancy helping out the channel, you may want to check out my Patreon page. That's a way you can help to support the channel and keep it going and have more of a say about the content on the channel in the future as well. Right, I believe that covers everything I wanted to say, so thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.